Hi guys, I'm gonna discuss the debate over should you get your transfer case, transmission, engines rebuilt, or should you go to the junkyard, or should you buy brand new from the dealership? Well, on my this here transfer case, this is out of a 2003 Chevy 3/4 ton 6 liter gas pickup, and this spring here I lost my 4-wheel drive, and I was on my way to school and I was scared. I'm going to college here, so it's a pretty scary drive there, and I only made it halfway home, and I borrowed my mom's pickup is what I ended up doing, and I wasn't sure how confident I would feel in rebuilding one of these transfer cases since I'd never done it. But my buddy, he's rebuilt many of these, or at least fixed them, tore them apart and found what components were bad and fixed them. It's usually the two shift forks in there. They have plastic or nylon on them, and you run them out of oil is what happens. Nobody ever checks the oil, and then they get hot and they melt, and then it doesn't slide it into four-wheel drive anymore. And the dilemma is I had a month left of school, and I'm taking 18 credits, so I didn't I didn't have time to rebuild it is what it came down to. And around here, the going rate here in 2023 is if you want to go to the junkyard and buy a new engine, you're looking at $800. A used transmission from the junkyard, you're looking at $600, and a used transfer case like this one out of a 3/4 ton Chevy pickup, they are $400. Well, I looked on Bizman online here up in the Midwest, and I couldn't find any. I think the junkyards and everybody just got picked clean on them, out of them. There was one guy that had one out of an '04 GMC Sierra, but he wanted $1,000 for it, and I was like, man, that's just too much. I can't just. I didn't want to spend that kind of money, knowing that that I'm getting ripped off. So I looked on eBay, and they had remanufactured ones for 12. I think it was like $1,180, so under $1,200 with a 2-year warranty on them. But the catch though is that it takes 2 weeks for them to get in, and I didn't have no 2 weeks because this was over Easter break or whatever. So I called up the guy, and he did not want to come down. He finally came down to like 600, and I was like, no, I want it for $800. And so I passed on it, and I went ahead and I posted a wanted ad online. And about a week later, a guy goes ahead and he calls me up, and he was probably like an hour and a half away from my house. And he's like, actually, I have one out of a junk pickup. He's like, I needed the transmission out of it, but I didn't need the transfer case. And he's like, I've had it on a pallet for like the last 5 years in the back of my Quonset. And he's like, I'll sell it to you for $400. So I ran there, and I bought it, and I threw it in, and it worked perfect. And a lot of my buddies suggested that, oh, just go ahead and throw away this transfer case for a 6 liter Chevy. But the thing about it is with the shortage of with how popular the 6 liters have been, like I said, the junkyards just don't have the parts for them anymore. People are cleaning them out like crazy. So I decided that I'm going to attempt to rebuild this. So what happened in this is the oil pickup tube, it's a metal one. It actually came off, and it ran through the chain and got pinned up against the side of the rear housing, which this is the rear housing. This is a brand new housing now. It went ahead and it got pinned up there, and it busted a chunk right off of there on the old one. And I had, of course, all my oil drained right out of it, and that's what caused everything to overheat in there and the transfer case to go out on me. So I disassembled all of it, and I wrote down what all parts I needed, and I ordered them off of eBay, because that was the cheapest place to get all of them, and it was $500 worth of parts actually. I mean, it really is true what a lot of the shops tell you, that some of these transfer cases, they just aren't worth rebuilding. Just the components that you're gonna have to buy for them are gonna outweigh the cost of buying a used one out of a junkyard vehicle. So, but like I said, I wanted a spare one, so I ordered all the parts, and I put it all together, and it really wasn't that bad of a job in the end there. Um, when I went to go shift the shift fork, which is right here, this ball right here, shift up and down, I was only having a 4 high and 2-wheel drive. I couldn't get 4 low out of it. And I just went ahead and I kept splitting the case back and forth and shifting everything apart. And after about 20 times, everything finally worked. So if you guys are intimidated by it, like I said, I was intimidated to it. But if you guys have the time, I definitely suggest do it, because everything's mechanical. There's nothing electronic in these 2003 Chevy 3/4 ton transfer cases with the hand lever on the floor for shifting them in and out of 4-wheel drive. Now we're going to move on to the transmissions. What should you do with those? Should you rebuild them at the transmission shop? And I'm going to tell you, absolutely not. When I was in high school, I had a half-ton Dodge. It was a 96 model, and this was in 2002 here. So that pickup was really new, and it was already off warranty. It had 160,000 miles on it. And my transmission, it was an automatic, and it would start out in second gear instead of first gear, and would only go up through fourth gear. It went shift into overdrive. So I was running at such high RPMs, just getting terrible gas mileage. And I took it into our local transmission shop, which has been around for years and years, probably since the 1980s. And they went ahead and they said that one of the shift forks was bad or whatever. So they replaced that in there, charged me $400 and some. I took it home, and it lasted 1 month, and it went back to the exact same problems. And I took it back to them again, and they went ahead and they tore into it, and they replaced some other components, and it fixed it. A month later, had the same problems again, and I just got fed up with it. So I called up the Dodge dealership, and they said that those transmissions, those automatics, they just get so wore out in there, like the inner case and everything, that they're just not worth rebuilding. Your best bet at that time in 2002, they said, is go to the dealership and buy a brand new automatic transmission, which was $3,000 at the time. I'm guessing here in 2023, you're looking at about $6,000. And I realize a lot of people don't have that kind of money. I didn't either. So your best alternative, go to the junkyard and get one out of a wrecked vehicle. And the junkyards, they ask them if they'll warranty them. Most of them will for 30 days. And you go ahead and throw it in your car, pickup. And if it's good, you're good to go there. But like I said, if you could afford it, I'd like to say I would do that as long as you can. But eventually, those cars, they're just not going to have any more of them left in the junkyards, and the junkyards are going to be cleaned out. So eventually, a guy is going to have no alternative other than to go to the dealership and buy a brand new one from them. And I have heard that a lot of the brand, like the early 2000 Chevys, that they actually don't make brand new ones anymore, but they're rebuilt by the manufacturers, so they're rebuilt right. And I watched one of the Scotty Kilmer YouTube channels, and what he talked about these rebuilds, and he is totally against getting your transmission rebuilt as well. He said that like 75% of transmission rebuild shops, no matter how long they've been in business or whatever, they don't know how to rebuild your transmission correctly. They're not like the manufacturer that does it. So like I said, do not waste your money going to tranny rebuild shop. When it comes to engines, my buddy, he has gone to so many junkyard engines for these early 2000 Chevy pickups, and he's had good luck with them. Like I said, as long as you warranty them, because all they really are is mechanical, and you throw all of your electronic stuff from your old one onto there. So with a engine, I would not rebuild it myself, because you're gonna have so much in the machine costs of having the machines or the heads and the valves all machined. They're gonna have to bore out the cylinders, all of that. Just go to the junkyard, pay $800 for a good running engine, and throw that in your car. And when there aren't any more of those, I would just go to Napa or someplace like that and get a crate motor. I believe that you can get pickup like Chevy crate motors that are rebuilt by the factory, like Napa and all that, for $3,200. And with one of the smaller mechanics in your town, not the dealership, it would be a total of like $5,500. That's how much my mom's boyfriend paid for putting a brand new engine in his 1997 Chevy 3/4 ton pickup, and that was a 350 in there. So I hope this kind of leaves your debate of what you guys should do in this situation. So all right, take care, bye.